Hey art nerds, today we're taking a trip to Five and Below. When people found out I was doing art supply gift guides for Michael's, Walmart, and Dollar Tree, someone requested that I hit up Five and Below. Wasn't able to make it until after Christmas, and as you guys can see, this store looks like it's been ransacked, but there's still a few goodies here and there that I wanted to kind of explore with you guys. I don't normally frequent Five and Below just because there isn't one where I live in Nashville and there isn't one where I live in Louisiana, so I'm not here too frequently. But Joseph did get footage of the Five and Below in Gonzales before Christmas, so I'm excited to see what they had to offer before everything got completely picked over. So Five and Below is the sort of store that everything should cost less than $5 or at $5, hence Five and Below. But as you guys will see, some items were more than $5. They have a very small art supply section, but it has a few goodies in it, like sketchbooks, color pencils, and watercolor pencils. And I believe they would have carried even more before Christmas, before everything got completely bought out. These little sketchbooks are hardcover sketchbooks. The paper inside doesn't have a whole lot of texture, but the spiral binding seems fairly nice. Something that I kind of didn't like about Five and Below is that prices weren't clearly marked. And it's not like Dollar Tree where everything's $1. You can just assume it's $1 or less. It's everything is Five and Below, and that can make a substantial difference because some of these things aren't really worth the $5. The only things I thought were clearly marked was the candy selection where it was like 10 pieces for $1. So you guys can see there's still a few art and craft supplies left, but really, people really hit up Five and Below for Christmas. So we have little wooden mini easels, little palette packs, which honestly probably cost about $5, as well as color pencil sets and pens. There's also glow-in-the-dark paint, as well as paintbrush packs with foam and heavy bristle brushes. I was intrigued by this larger watercolor sketchbook, but inside it's just regular sketchbook paper. And I ended up picking up this art kit, this pencil art kit, and you guys should keep an eye out for the review of that coming up. They also had double-sided pencil kits as well as metallic and glitter pencil kits. Those look like a lot of fun. As well as these fine point watercolor pens. Now, I think these are kind of funny. They're calling these watercolor pens because they are using a water-soluble solvent inside, and they're probably dye-based. So this is the stationery section / school supply section. There isn't really a lot I can comment on because there's just really not a lot left. And mostly Five and Below had a lot of stuff for very, very young children. Something else I found amusing is that these 24 packs of Crayola crayons usually retail for 35 cents to $1, but they were in the $5 section. So Five and Below might be a lot like Dollar General, where the prices are generally not the best you can get. So if you're on a tight budget, you may want to shop around. They do have a wide variety of things though, from stationery to Christmas things to sports things to board games to apparel and clothing, as you guys will see in a minute, to even tech supplies. So I could see this place being kind of a useful one-stop shop for stocking stuffers or for quick gifts. So this is what's left of the sports section. It has been really, really decimated. And then here's just a few of the $5-ish t-shirts and socks that they have in stock. There's also a few things here that might be useful for fellow convention artists who are looking for display items, but the section I found the most interesting was their book section. I actually found quite a few books that were interesting, thought-provoking, or inspiring. Most of their books are kind of do-it-along-with-me books, so like journals or books of prompts or lettering books, that sort of thing. So if you're looking for a very affordable way to maybe pick up a new hobby or explore yourself in the new year, this could be a way to do it. Huge thanks to my mom for flipping through some of these books for me. It's really helpful to have a second set of hands. And there were a lot of like journal books, writing prompt books, sketch prompt books. The paper inside of them is all pretty much the same, very cheap run-of-the-mill paper. But this could be a good gift for a teenager or a young 20-something who's kind of figuring themselves out. I actually really like these kind of prompt books because they inspire self-reflection, and sometimes they ask questions that allow you to kind of figure yourself out a little bit better or encourage you to explore who you are. I found this calligraphy book to be a little bit less than inspiring, though, because there isn't a lot of instruction inside. It's mostly just copy what we do onto our existing image. But some of these are a lot of fun and very playful, so they could make great Secret Santa gifts or stocking stuffers. Interestingly, I found a copy of How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, and I ended up picking it up because since I teach comics at a variety of places, it's always nice to have how to make comic books that are accessible to a variety of ages and skill levels. I also picked up this little basic drawing book. I thought it could be a good resource in my classroom as well because it covers a lot of just drawing fundamentals from perspective to volumetric drawing to drawing textures. Their tech section is mostly aimed towards phone accessories, so charging cables, battery backups. I don't know if their battery backups are any good, so if you have any experience, negative or positive, with their battery backups, let me know down in the comments below. That's the sort of thing I like to have on hand. I find it really useful as a convention artist and really useful as a artist who records for YouTube, and it's something I think a lot of other artists would be interested in getting at an affordable price. They also have these weird phone accessories for gaming. I've been looking for a remote for my phone to like pause recording, so I'm very interested, but I don't think these will solve my problem. They also have these small puck lights, which are very useful because you just tap them on and they can be placed around your convention table for additional lighting. They also have this weird phone stand, which I picked up because I'm always looking for good options, good kind of holding options for my phone when I'm recording. And then they have some leftover Animal Crossing Amiibos, so I picked up Blathers because I already have everybody else. They also have a selection of wireless headphones. I picked up the slide headphones I was looking for a wireless mic, again, for recording, and I thought $5 was a pretty fair price, and I wanted to see if it was any good. So keep an eye out for that review. But they have a really wide selection of inexpensive headphones in all sorts of different styles. This Five Below also has a makeup section, but it was just completely cleaned out by the Christmas rush. They also have some small containers which could be really useful for organization. You may want to comparison check against like Target, Walmart, and Dollar Tree to see who offers the best price. They also had these really cute Hershey's Gingerbread kits, so if you're looking for, or if you were looking for an activity, a wintry activity to do with your kids, those could be a lot of fun. So this is a smaller Five Below. I'm sure there are larger ones that carry more, so let me know how your Five Below compares. Alright, that was my trip to Five and Below after Christmas. As you guys could see, it was picked pretty clean, but I did manage to find a few things that I thought were interesting that I wanted to share with you guys. So their art supply section didn't really have a lot left, but they did have quite a few different pencils, and I ended up picking up the 36-piece artist pencil set. So it has 12 color pencils, 12 watercolor pencils, 6 graphite sticks, and 8 sketch graphite pencils. So we have quite an array of pencils, and it'll be interesting to see just how they perform. I figure at least the graphite pencils will be different. It's hard to go wrong with that. I also found a couple of interesting books in the book section. Actually, they had a lot of interesting books. I was kind of surprised by how many books they had for artists. But I picked up How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way, since this is kind of a classic, and at $5, can't really do much better than that, as well as the Essential Guide to Drawing, which is just kind of your basic overview, but I'm always looking for good books that I can share with my students. Then they also had a few Amiibos there, so I picked up Blathers. I picked up that interesting phone stand, since I'm always interested in new ways of capturing video. I thought if this works, this could be really good for me because you have quite a few different options. So I'm going to actually review this one on camera for those of you who are also interested in recording at home. And then finally, I picked up a Bluetooth headset. This is a wireless headset, and I thought this could be useful when recording since I tug on my mic more often than you might think. So if this works, this could be a good solution as well. So with Five and Below, let me grab the receipt. Maybe I just have expensive taste, but pretty much everything I got today was about $5. In fact, 2 of them were over $5 at $5.55. I thought it was supposed to be Five and Below, not approximately $5, give or take. I also had a problem with the fact that things at Five and Below generally weren't clearly marked. Like, for example, those Crayola crayons we saw, the 24-piece set, usually that goes for under $1 at places like Walmart or Dollar Tree, but they were in the $5 section, which is just really expensive for a 24-piece set of crayons. So I think it might kind of be like Dollar General, where sometimes you can get a real deal, and then sometimes you're going to end up overspending on something that really shouldn't cost that much. So I will check in with you guys with this review, and then when I'm done with these, I'm going to donate them. I'm sure someone can put them to good use. I'll check in with this and with this as well. But as for these books, they're pretty straightforward, just general overviews. Could be good if you have a kid who's interested in learning how to draw comics or do basic cartooning, since they just kind of talk about the basics in a straightforward way, which I really appreciate. So I'm happy to add this one to my collection.